So welcome everybody to another review as read. Today we talk about Lobo Unbound by Keith Giffen and art by Alex Hawley. This is a 6-part standalone miniseries that takes the main man on an adventure from a slump he finds himself in to a all too convenient way to get out of it. Now, do note this series is for mature audiences due to gory and sexual content. And of course, to show this, I will have to show some of the pictures, so do be forewarned. So we will do as always with a cons, pros, and a conclusion. So let's get into it. Now for the cons, there is not much I don't like about this series. I am basically nitpicking, but if there was some cons, I would say it would be, for example, that Lobo's reason for his slump is not the best explained even when it's revealed. But then again, it doesn't really matter, as this story is very tongue-in-cheek, and thus even if his motivation is not the best explained, this is more of a story you're on the ride just to enjoy and just see the main man interact with all the weird situations he finds himself in. And on that point also is, if you're expecting an epic narrative that makes you feel great emotions when you finish reading this miniseries, you're not gonna get that. This is just a fun read with a great character, and that's what you should be ready for when you read Lobo Unbound. So with that, let's look now at the many pros of the book. The first is that Keith Giffen wrote the story, and if one of the creators of Lobo wrote the story, you know the essence of the main man is gonna be front and center. That nonchalant, irreverent attitude taking center stage, and the story only in service to give Lobo a reason to, well, be Lobo. Example, the first person he fights is an alien with testicles as weapons. And the irreverence truly comes in the fact that later on Lobo finds himself in a planet that is basically a parody of a Muslim nation, with aliens who are very religious and blow themselves up. This is of course a throwback to the 9/11 and the whole situation in the early 2000s, but it doesn't feel racist or wrong. It really feels like a true parody of the situation. They're not commenting on the religion or anything like that, it's just a society, and they're touching on the nuance of how blowing yourself up for no reason doesn't make any sense. In fact, even when they try to say something about that, it basically is not even center stage. It's just a side thing that if you want to think about, it's there. So I think it's very well done, as much as you can do something tastefully in Lobo Unbound. At the same time, I can understand if someone's uncomfortable with that, so do take note. The characters are also amazing, and because the story is so tongue-in-cheek, almost naked female villains or foreskin-chasing smurfs are more funny than cringeworthy. Again, it's that whole parody of society as it is. The story also ends really well. It ties up all the storyline. When it finishes, you're satisfied, which is more than I can say for many DC storylines, especially those including time travel. Now, the other pro we have to absolutely talk about is the art by Alex Hawley, which is a true eye-catching piece, with each panel looking like it should be a poster. It has this serious detail of realism, yet feels like it has that comic-y over-the-top feel of Lobo, which he mixes so well. Now, the series also has different art styles within the series. Example, Lobo's origins being drawn in a Dr. Zeus kind of style, which keeps things fresh and also fits with that Lobo feel, because again, Lobo just doesn't take himself too seriously too, and this all really fits with that theme, as Lobo was basically created as a parody of Wolverine and has a great feel of basically Deadpool in his silliness and breaking the fourth wall and stuff like that. In fact, in this comic, Lobo even gets a Bob character that Deadpool gets from his series. And the last pro of the book is that this is a great mini-series to introduce people to Lobo, as not only does it have its origin stories, but this self-contained story also gives an excellent feel of what the Lobo character is all about. So in conclusion, this is an excellent read, highly recommended, with a good, nice, fun story. It's great art and gives you that feeling of a true story of the main man, the last Caesarian, Lobo. Subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. Thank you very much. Till next word.